Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to be with you today. While I have several things I'd like to say, my message is quite simple. The time for nuclear power is now. Countries around the world, faced with worsening energy and climate crisis, are reassessing their approach to energy. In doing so, they are reconsidering the role of nuclear power in their low carbon energy mix. That's because safe, reliable, and low carbon nuclear power has a unique potential for addressing some of our most pressing challenges, from energy security and climate change to sustainable development and economic prosperity. I'm a former nuclear power plant operator. Currently, I'm the head of the Department of Nuclear Energy at the IAEA. You might say that when it comes to nuclear power, I'm biased. The truth is, I fervently believe in the benefits of this amazing technology. But I am not alone, particularly in these days of skyrocketing gas prices and greenhouse gas emissions, in stating that we will need a lot more nuclear power to meet the huge challenges before us, both today and tomorrow. The International Energy Agency, which analyzes all fuels without prejudice, says that the world will need to double nuclear capacity by 2050 to meet climate goals. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, hardly a bastion of pro-nuclear activists, says we will need an increase of between 60 and 500 percentage of nuclear power generating capacity to achieve net zero by mid-century. Ladies and gentlemen, so the time is now. After years in the shadows, nuclear energy is on people's mind. It's being discussed in newspapers, on television, in parliaments, and around the dinner tables. Among policy and decision makers, investors, members of the media, and even the general public, awareness of the potential of nuclear power to address our biggest challenges is increasing by the day. In Asia, the current epicenter of nuclear power and new builds, South Korea's president has announced an ambitious reversal of his predecessor's nuclear phase-out program. Japan is eyeing the restart of more reactors, while China remains the world's biggest builder of nuclear reactors, with 17 reactors currently under construction. India, which operates 22 reactors, is in the process of building 8 more, while Pakistan has connected 2 new reactors to the grid since March 2021. Newcomer Bangladesh is constructing its first 2 reactors, and Uzbekistan is in an advanced stage of preparing its nuclear power infrastructure for the start of reactor construction. Southeast Asia is also eyeing nuclear power. Indonesia and the Philippines are actively exploring this possibility and working with the IAEA on developing the necessary infrastructure to do so, while Laos, Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam have expressed interest in nuclear power. In the European Union, the new so-called taxonomy on environmentally sustainable investments includes nuclear power, potentially paving the way for a new era of private investment in nuclear technologies. Meanwhile, there has been a flurry of activity on the national level in Europe. Belgium has reversed a decision to shut off all its existing reactors, opting instead to continue to run 2 reactors beyond the initial shutdown date of 2025. France and the UK have both announced major ambitions to expand their nuclear power programs, while several countries in Europe, including Belarus, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Finland, Hungary, Netherlands, Romania, Russia, Slovakia, and newcomers Estonia and Poland, are eyeing a scale up of nuclear power. Even Germany has decided not to shut down its last operating nuclear plants, opting instead to keep 2 on standby to ensure electricity supply. In the United States, new legislation on climate change will channel significant funds to operate in nuclear power plants and new nuclear technologies, while the state of California has reversed a decision to shut down its only existing reactor to ensure security of supply as it seeks to meet clean energy goals. Turkey, meanwhile, is busy constructing its first reactors, while Egypt's regulator has granted a license to build the country's first nuclear power plant. Saudi Arabia is advancing its plans on nuclear power, as are Jordan, Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria. Besides large reactors, many of these and other countries are interested in deploying SMRs. That's due to their lower capital costs, shorter construction times, and flexibility for integration with smaller grids and for non-electric applications such as seawater desalination, process heat for industry, and hydrogen production. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. The global energy landscape is shifting as we speak. New opportunities are appearing every day. How can we seize them? Whether on a national or international scale, a rapid deployment of nuclear power can face numerous hurdles, often related to regulations and licensing, economics, supply chains, or human resources. And the biggest hurdle of all might be negative perception about nuclear power, which persists despite the big changes underway that I have just described. The Iaea supports in member states, whether experienced countries or newcomers in all areas of the nuclear fuel cycle, from uranium mining and fuel fabrication to reactor development, deployment and operation, training and human resource development, all the way to decommissioning and site remediation. And with our safety standards, security guidance and safeguards work preventing the spread of nuclear weapons, the agency provides the bedrock on which nuclear power operates. But with more and more countries looking to effectively deploy advanced nuclear technologies such as SMRs, the agency is stepping up with new services to support them. The Iaea platform on SMRs and the applications provides member states with a single access point to the Iaea's full array of support on SMRs. And the National and the Nuclear Harmonization and Standardization Initiative, or NESI, is bringing together policymakers, regulators, designers, vendors, and operators in an effort to help develop common regulatory and common industry approaches to support the effective deployment of SMRs. But while these new initiatives provide vital technical support, countries also require a helping hand in building public acceptance for a successful nuclear power program. First and foremost, this means clearly and simply communicating to our stakeholders the basic scientific facts about the benefits and the risks of nuclear power. And the agency, through publications, expert missions, and technical meetings, is helping countries to do just that. We are helping them to put in place systematic programs for engaging all relevant stakeholders on the scientific facts underpinning the safe and secure use of nuclear power and its application. This is helping to provide countries with the necessary tools to support public understanding of their nuclear power programs. On a larger level, the agency is also engaging its own vast array of global stakeholders. Led by Director General Grossi, the IAEA in recent years has been doing this loud and clear, including at the last United Nations Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, where nuclear power finally achieved mainstream recognition. And what are the basic scientific facts? Nuclear is safe. Air pollution from fossil fuel emissions contribute to upwards of 8 million deaths per year, according to the World Health Organization. But after solar, nuclear is the safest energy source as measured in the death rates per unit of electricity produced, according to several studies, including by United Nations Scientific Committee on the effects of atomic radiation. Nuclear emits no greenhouse gas emissions during operation. Nuclear can decarbonize hard to abate sectors such as industry, transport, and buildings, which account for more than 40% of greenhouse gas emissions. Nuclear provides round the clock electricity, ensuring supply security as well as resilient and robust grids that can avoid blackouts and withstand extreme weather. Nuclear energy, by doing all these things, helps countries to achieve not only sustainable development, but sustainable prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. Through international cooperation and collaboration, through fact-based communication and broad stakeholder engagement, countries can have the tools to use nuclear energy safely, securely, and sustainably. And that means all of us will have a much better chance at achieving genuine energy security while meeting our global goals on climate change and sustainable development. Thank you and good luck.